Hello, everybody. It is Dee and Renee, and we're getting used to this time frame. So today is my fault. Yeah. So I'm here in beautiful, sunny Northern California. Actually, it's finally gotten into the low 70s. Dee is coming from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Dee, tell us what's going on in the Hat.
We had a brutal winter storm on the weekend in the Hat that was province-wide, that crippled highways and caused closures and accidents and wreaked havoc on all the farmers calving and all that crazy jazz. And it's cold today. It's freezing. It's below freezing temps at night. So if you can imagine, all your perennials and your trees and everything are coming up and budding out, and then we get a classic Alberta spring storm. So lots of fun.
Wow. Well, you know what? I went to LA last weekend. The weather was cold there. Then I went over to Vegas, and then it was pouring rain. My boyfriend told me that I'm the bad penny, so I came back to Los Gatos.
Where it's sunny.
That's right. Hey,
Awesome.
Everybody, if you are logging on, tell us where you're from. Tell us, let's see, what should we, we're talking about Mom's Day today. And Dee has come up with a wonderful dinner menu, but see, I'm a brunch person. So I put a poll out there and thought I would see if, how many of you like brunch and how many of you like lunch. I noticed that Melissa said both was her preference. So yeah, you know, I'm more like, so like I have brunch booked in Palm Desert. We're taking the moms, Stella and Shirley, out for brunch. And
Love
so
it.
that's going to be in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is Mother's Day. So Dee, tell us a little bit about what you have planned here for this dinner menu.
I just, Mother's Day, May, usually everything is in full bloom. The bees are working, lots of fresh flowers. So when I think of Mother's Day, I think of just light and fresh. So usually the lighter colored linens come out, beautiful flowers are everywhere. So light and crunchy and fresh is just kind of my theme. And I picked a little bit lighter food. Traditionally, lots of mamas don't eat really heavy food. I know that doesn't partake to everybody, but they tend to be so polite when it comes to dining out and eating. So I just wanted to keep the menu a little bit light and fresh, but this is just one simple example. So we have a lot more to come, but this is just a sample menu of some really easy ideas. Yeah.
Wow, awesome. So what is this?
That is a kohlrabi and radish salad with mint dressing. It is delicious, and it is also so fresh. And the wonderful thing about where I live, and I brag it up all the time. So this week I did a little bit of meal prep and plan video the other night and was showing everybody all the delicious goods that I can buy locally. And those radishes are fresh out of the ground. The mint is fresh out of the ground. The kohlrabis right now coming are really nice. And so I'm going to show you how you can have some beautiful crunchy plated salads with fresh ingredients, and how you can make dressings for salads that don't require oil also. So that's a really big one, because when we're doing full meals, salads and entrees, it's really easy to use up your oil, but I want to show you that you don't need oil to make a delicious dressing. So that's going to be one of my really big tips this week, and to show you how to keep it fresh. So I know a lot of times we get a lot of feedback on yuck, yuck, yuck. I hate, sugar-free bottle dressings, and you know what? You don't have to eat them. So I'm gonna teach you how to make a few really simple dressings that you can really adjust to whether you're in maintenance or whether you're in a losing phase, because super tasty olive oils, there is such a, I want to do a whole roadshow on olive oils. And I know that would be right up your alley because they're
Me
so
too.
tasty. Yeah, and they're so yummy. And so for maintenance, the flavor that you can add to your dishes with that is amazing and totally compliant. So we're going to give you some options to learn how to use either or. Yeah.
I love it. And one of the things I have to say is before I did the Ideal Protein Protocol, which was 7 years ago, by the way, May is 7 years for my clinic. And
Wow.
so we have anniversary month coming up. But, really, I was a huge creamy Caesar's dressing, blue cheese dressing, ranch dressing, pretty much ranch on a lot of things
Yeah.
that it did not belong on. And so,
Mhm.
one of the things that I started recognizing, and we've talked about this, was that all that dairy, all that cheese, yeah, it wasn't working for me. So I have learned a lot of things. Let's say hi to a couple of people. Stephanie is from Montreal,
Wow.
and Alicia is with us from Nebraska.
Hello,
And
Stephanie and Alicia.
yeah, and we've got West Virginia in the house, just like every week. Nice to
That's
see
awesome.
you. Yeah, so if you're just logging on, one of the biggest things that we can do for our friends and family is help them, and not by preaching what we do, not by preaching low carb or preaching you gotta, eat healthier or what have you, but by living by example. And so sharing this out to all of your friends and family. Like, these are some of my favorite recipes. We love, I can't tell you how many wonderful clinics actually really, we love when you share from it, and, really. So Sandy, I noticed that you hit the review button and gave us a wonderful review. So thank you so much. It's also so nice. I don't know if you guys know, but on our page we have a review tab, and we love that. So if you would review us, share, all that good stuff. All right, I'll get back to my job over here. Okay, this looks very gorgeous in springtime colors.
Mm-hmm. Color is, my lecture. Color is very important to me. We need to eat more than just green. And, I can talk about cabbage and fennel all day. So they're delicious. Not only are they delicious, but cabbage is such an economical veggie. So I always like to talk about that. A little goes along, like a head of cabbage turns into so many cups of awesome veggie. And the pictured here is a braised cabbage and fennel seasoned with caraway seeds. And what is really neat about caraway seeds is they're actually considered a fruit. The seed pod is considered a fruit, but they are so high in fiber that they basically have no carbs. And so they're an amazing season, ground or in the whole seed form. And so with just a touch of salt and pepper and vinegar and a tiny bit of sweetener if you choose, you can make a delicious and oh so simple side dish. And I chose, we're not using onions because they caramelize when they cook, but fennel does not caramelize. And pears, caraway also has a slight licorice flavor, and so does fennel. So they marry together really wonderful in the pan. So a simple side dish, but also a side dish that works well with any protein choice. So you could serve this with anything from, your tofu to chicken to steak. And today I paired it with poached snapper, actually. So I actually did poached snapper and poached cod to show you. The cod was devoured before I was able to take a picture. So pictured is going to be the snapper today with our braised fennel and cabbage. And I love purple cabbage. I love green cabbage too, but purple cabbage is so showy on a plate or in a salad or as a garnish. And of course, I want at least 5 different colors in your journal every week. And so purple cabbage is an excellent addition to get another color into your journal. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm seeing a theme here at your house where things get eaten before the pictures are taken. What's up with that?
Yeah. I have vultures hanging around the kitchen when I am cooking good food, and very often they're quite funny because they'll come in and they'll be like, "Oh, is that IP?" And I will say, "Nope," and they will eat it up. Like even if if I'm doing it for IP design. So, but it's actually kind of good because they are my taste testers, right? So sometimes I'll get like, "Oh, mama, that was like really good," or "that was like a little too spicy," or it was okay, So it's good. It's good to get, critiqued by the different taste buds, even in my own house.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Let's see what we have up next here.
So that's our poached snapper. And we do a lot of baking, and we can talk about grilling, and but we haven't talked about poaching a lot. And it is a really simple cooking method and really fast, and you can infuse a lot of flavor into foods that you poach. And so when you poach something, you're really simmering it. You're not boiling it, it's a simmer. And the snapper pictured there, I infused it with a little red pepper flakes, chicken broth, green onions, a splash of Bragg soy aminos right in my poaching broth. Now you can poach in plain water, but poaching it in infused broth really, really brings out the flavor. And then I had made just a light and not a cream sauce, just a thin lemon sauce to go over top. So and again, using fresh herbs and garlic and a little bit of lemon and a tiny bit of stock. So you don't need any heavy cream sauces or oils. You can keep it nice and light and fresh. And then if a little bit of that sauce runs, into your braised cabbage or into your kohlrabi salad, it still all tastes nice. It doesn't ruin your plate. So yeah. So really simple method, but really, really tasty, really, really tasty. So,
yum. Okay, so now we've got the 3 here. We've got the snapper and the 2 salads. That dish. So basically, we have kind of like 2 menu items going, or 2 different menus. Is that the deal?
Yeah. So this would be my dinner number 1. What the nice thing about this plate, both plates that we're going to show you actually, they're light enough to do for a lunch, but also satisfying enough to do for a supper as well. And pictured is 2 cups of your vegetables. So 1 cup of your kohlrabi radish salad, and the other one is the 1 cup of the red cabbage and purple cabbage and the fennel. And then that is 8 ounces of fish there. But I mean, you could easily split that into 4 and also divide up your protein for the day as well. So, and another thing that was recently talked about and brought to our attention is that, women, if you cannot get your full 8 ounces in per day, that's okay. 6 is acceptable. And so if you like fish once in a while, it's a lighter choice and might be just a little bit easier for you to get in as well if you don't, or maybe you don't digest red meat well, or, those types of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've said that for a long time to my clients is 6 to 8 ounces. And particularly when you move into phase 3 and phase 4, I think 16 ounces of protein for a lot of people, just, if you're a tall person, I get that, but maybe, a lot of my clients are 5'2" or 5'5", or, it's a lot. So yeah, I agree with that. Okay, what do we have here, Dee?
That is a warm potato salad, and I did it with turnips. Now you could use kohlrabi, you could use rutabaga, you can use turnip, any of the firmer, selector veggies will work, and you roast your veggie and then you dress it. So this one has I did use just a smidge of amazing mayo, not a lot because you don't need a lot, but it has fresh cilantro and it has chili powder and just salt and pepper and garlic, some simple, 2 full cups roasted beautifully in just 1 teaspoon of olive oil as well. So also learning amounts where you don't have to use excess ingredients to get beautiful results. And so a warm potato salad. And once it cooled off and was cold, still super delicious. So you could put it in your fridge and enjoy it the next day, or it doesn't have to be consumed hot. Just put a nice change up from cold faux potato salad, and a nice change from cauliflower, because cauliflower gets used a lot for things like faux potato salad, and the turnips were gorgeous, and they roasted quick, and that sometimes just really easy, like chopping your vegetables, roasting them for a bit, throwing them in a bowl of seasoning, boom, done. So really fast and simple, and just your flavor creations. I ended up using a little bit of chili powder that had heat in it instead of just plain chili powder, just because I like that, and it had a great zing to it. So,
So what do you feel is the best and closest flavoring to actual potatoes, or does it change with the kind of dish that you're making?
yeah, well, so to me, different vegetables have distinct taste, and that can be unique to you. So peppers, radishes, I love as in place of a roast potato, or say if you were doing like a 1 pot roast or something like that. When you throw those radishes in whole and roast them, they come out wonderful, and they really are so mild that they will absorb whatever seasoning you put with them. So I think they are, when you're not dicing and chopping up, I think they're an excellent, like whole little baby roasted potato. I do like turnip. I really enjoy the turnips as pictured here, like as the side salad. In soups, when I'm replacing potatoes, I actually prefer rutabaga. And the reason why is that they're just more dense and sturdy. So they don't mush and fall apart as fast. So again, too, they absorb the flavor in the liquid. So it really just depends what I'm actually making. But I think there's multiple options that you can use. And sometimes too, what's in season as well too. I know where you live, your in season is a little bit more extended than ours. So we can go through a period here where our fresh vegetables get a little sad for a few months before they perk up. So sometimes it's really just on what really looks good in the grocery store too.
So that goes back to learning how to cook seasonally, which I think, basically the month of May is also the anniversary of Dea Renee. So we started our cooking show last year. So one of the things that we did originally is each show was based on a different vegetable to begin with, and maybe we'll revisit that again this year. But one of the things that Sandy asked here is, could you sub kohlrabi?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a kohlrabi. I actually, in my mind and palate, is just a massive radish. Honestly, I find them peppery and firm, and I think that's why they pair so well with the radish. So, for example, like in that raw kohlrabi and radish salad, they go so well together because they're so similar, but different.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for asking that question. Let's say hello to Cindy from Minnesota.
Hello, Cindy.
Joelle is here with us.
Hello,
So,
Joelle.
okay, so you guys, if you are interested in these recipes and you're not already getting them, so if you already get our newsletter, you don't have to do anything. It's going to come to you next Monday. But in the event that you're not getting our Monday newsletter with the recipes in it, be sure to type in the word newsletter. And you're going to get a 2-step process where you have to say yes first. It's going to come to your Facebook Messenger. You're going to say yes to accept that it's okay for us to send you our message. And then number 2, you're going to click on the newsletter button. And then that's going to send you out to the subscription link so that you will always get our Monday recipes. And I want to send a shout out to one of my favorite clients, Melissa, who does our newsletter for us every week and so many other things for us. So it's just super awesome.
Thank you, Melissa.
Yeah. Okay. So I noticed that we have this delicious picture, but what's the green stuff?
That is cucumber mint dressing. No, cucumber dill. I made a lot of dressings this week, guys. This is a cucumber dill dressing, and this dressing is so simple and so fantastic, and a great example of another dressing that you can make that does not need any oil. So if you need to incorporate your daily oil ounce, boom, done, easy. But if you're looking for a salad dressing and you already use your oil, this is amazing. So fresh cucumber, fresh dill, garlic, salt and pepper, tiny bit of water. You can use a splash of apple cider vinegar or lemon juice if you want. And you just, you know what, I'm going to give you specific amounts, but you can play with those. It doesn't have to be perfect. So if you like it thicker, you're gonna add a little bit more cucumber. If you like it thinner, you know, a little bit more liquid to it. And that is my base dressing for my red oak steak salad. And of course, I mean, I'm never going to stop bragging when we get local produce, but that salad pictured, I should have taken a picture of it tossed before I put the meat on it, as the lettuce is actually what the red oak is, red oak lettuce. Gorgeous, fresh, organic. That is where the red oak comes from. It's actually the type of lettuce. And it is just a blend of just beautiful colors. Fresh greenhouse cucumbers, fresh greenhouse radish, fresh greenhouse onion. I should have taken a picture of my bag of dill. So for $2, fresh organic dill comes in a huge bag. The smell is just, when it's picked fresh and you can go in and buy it in a fresh farmer's market almost daily, the difference is just, it's outstanding. And so that is just a light, fresh salad, which you could enjoy on your own, but then you can simply turn it into a full meal by adding your choice of protein on top. So you could do fish, you could do chicken, steak, you could do grilled tofu. The warm faux potato salad with it is awesome. And actually you can tell in the picture there of the dressing that I had dressed the salad. You can see the level went down in my dressing bowl, and that dressing is in my fridge today. And that one pictured actually has no oil in it because I used my oil allowance for the day in a little bit in my faux potato salad that you see there. And I used also a little bit in another recipe. So I had no oil left from my own consumption. And so I'm showing you a dressing that has no oil in it, just so that you can see the texture in it, you can see the consistency of it, and really light, fresh, and tasty. So, and I love salads with protein as a meal. Like love them. Mm-hmm.
I do too. I almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're at the dessert part, and tell us what this. I know I probably read it somewhere, but what is this, Dee?
Oh, so this is my jelly roll. So 3 years ago, I made an ideal protein friendly jelly roll, and the traditional way. And since I made it the traditional way, then I made it with the vanilla drink mix. So gluten-free. So for anybody who needs a gluten-free recipe, it works with the certified gluten-free vanilla drink mix, but it also works with a caramel mug cake and so on and so forth. And you can reserve those chocolate chips to spread in the middle. And but as always, I really feel like we eat with our eyes. And so this goes back to, so if you scroll through our old recipes, you'll see that I have used edible flowers and some lemon muffins and things like that, just to make it pretty. Because I don't believe that everything needs icing, glaze, or a sauce to taste wonderful. But a few weeks ago when we were in Seattle, we had a delicious dinner and I had a delicious drink, and they had put a pansy in the drink, and that's what made the drink so fantastic, because it was just pretty to look at. And so it's planting time, and pansies, violas, or whatever you call them, are in abundance, and a perfect way to perk up a plate. And the great thing about them is that they're edible. You can dry them. They look pretty on the table. You can plant them in your garden. They will come back every year. And so that was just my way of making a Mother's Day dessert really eye-pleasing. So
now you didn't take a picture of the inside?
I did.
Oh, you did? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Did you got it?
Nope.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
Should
I send you one?
Did you post it on the page?
Yeah, there's one on the page.
Okay, I'll see if I can look that up. But I do want to let all of you know that the vote is in, at least so far. We've had 40 people vote, 30 people love brunch, and 10 people love dinner. So brunch is the winner. All and right. So what that tells you, Dee, is that next week we need we need to do brunch for next week. All right. So now I'm going to take this down, and I am going to pop up a picture of the jelly roll here. Let's see if I got the right one here. Let's see here. So tell us any tips that you have while I'm looking for the jelly roll. So it can be made so you can do a single serving, you can double, triple, quadruple it. I give you the recipe as a traditional, how you do it traditionally, like from when we were kids in the kitchen. And so you make a thin batter, you spread it thin, you don't cook it for very long, and then you roll it up in a tea towel so that the jelly roll holds its shape. And then you can unroll it while it's still warm, and you can fill your center with any phase one appropriate filling. So maybe you want just a little bit of cinnamon and some maple syrup, or maybe some melted Walden Farms jam in the middle. I have done it with the caramel mug cake, where you reserve the chocolate chips and then you spread the chocolate in the middle, roll it back up while it's warm, and the chocolate melts, and then you can have a caramel mug cake chocolate roll. You can ice them with pudding and some melted jam, or you can just leave it absolutely plain. They're delicious. When I sample it in clinic, I don't ice it. I just leave it. I fill the center with whatever my choice is, and then slice them and put them on a plate. And they're so light and airy and sweet, and they're very, very pretty pinwheeled on a plate. So even though it's not new, every time we make them, I can adapt them to make them a little bit better. So it's one that I do like to present and use over and over. So, because it is so versatile, and it is also a recipe. Like, again, I do get a lot of requests for gluten-free. And so this is one that I know works beautifully with a vanilla drink mix. And so then it's, certifiable gluten-free and nice and light and airy. And again, just, I really feel like a big part of our meals is that we really digest things with our eyes. So we always kind of predetermine how good something is by how it looks. So sometimes if something looks amazing, we are like, oh, that was amazing, but really it might not be. So just like, things, yeah.
Not everybody is like that. Some people definitely use their taste buds first, but I have to tell you, I use my eyes first. I really do. So,
I love it. So, all right, you guys. Well, Dee, next week, then, you know what your assignment is. It is
you.
brunch for everybody. And we hope that you loved all of these. In 2 weeks is Mother's Day, so we'll have one more segment about Mother's Day. If you have a special Mother's Day recipe that you love, that you would like to have Dee recreate for you, that is phase one friendly, send it over. Send it over to Dee. You can private message, or you can put it in the comments section. And we're testing out this new time frame. So let us know if this time frame is working for you, or if you liked our old noon time frame better. So we're just kind of seeing what really works for everybody. I know that this is a better time for Dee because she broadcasts from home. So Dee, I'm looking forward to next week, and looking forward to all the goodness for Mother's Day. Anything that you want to share with everybody before we go?
Yeah, I do. I was reading some really, really interesting comments this week. And one of them really struck a chord with me, and it was about being on protocol was like a punishment. And I really thought that that was profound, because, if you've committed to, and everybody has, it's coming back to, we talk about this a lot, figuring out what your why is and figuring out why you're trying to get healthy. Is it for health reasons? Is it for, cosmetic and aesthetic reasons? Is it just to look good for one day, because you're going to see family or friends, or, have a reunion? Is it really something important to you, or is it, just is your goal short term? Is it long term? What are you really doing? If you're doing something like the Ideal Protein Protocol, yeah, it's strict, it's restrictive, because when it is, it works expedient, it works fast. So I don't view it as punishment. I view it as reward. You get rewarded for your work really, really quick, and all of the things you feel that you're being, punished against, it will all be there when you're done. So we want to practice creating a different language or different thoughts, like if you slip up and eat something that you're not supposed to when you're on phase one protocol, that doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you bad. It's okay. It just doesn't work in the success rate in the Ideal Protein Protocol, because it is a specific protocol, but it doesn't make you bad. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you have a bad week. Like, your week isn't bad. Like, it didn't destroy everything good in your life. So we want to really start changing the language and the focus on our why. Let's figure out our why, and be really proud and support each other on the journey. And you're going to make mistakes along the way, and it's okay. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes, and
that is such an important thing to focus on, Dee. I really like that you brought that up, because my clients that feel deprived immediately go back to old habits and immediately gain all their weight back. So when you don't feel deprived, when you're doing this because this is your choice, when you're making a lifestyle change, no matter what that lifestyle change is, you don't have to be on Ideal Protein to be wanting to low carb and to be wanting to try new recipes that you're seeing on this event or on our broadcast all the time.
Right.
It's super important.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're feeling deprived, maybe this isn't the right thing for you to do right now, or ever, honestly. And I was just having this conversation with a really good girlfriend of mine who, she's been on Ideal a couple times, and little by little, she went back to some old habits and gained some weight, and she wasn't happy about it. And she decided last October that she was going to just make some lifestyle changes. And I told her, I was like, you know what, you're welcome to come back and go on my program. And she said, you know what, Renee, the thing that has really been killing me is like I'm all in or all out. And I really have to, this has to be about making a complete change in what I do and not feeling deprived. And if I feel like having something, I do that one time and then I am back at it. And I'm not
Yeah.
letting that one thing send me off and boom, I'm gaining all my weight back. I just took that one moment to have that one deviation, or I don't even want to call it a deviation. I made a conscious decision to go to this event or go to this party. I did this and done. And then moving back along. And she's successfully, you know, she's almost at her goal now. Yes, had she done a strict phase 1 protocol, probably would have been 3 or 4 months done and done. But she chose that she wanted to make this long term and make complete lifestyle changes. And so I love that you brought that up, because you know, for that time of year where the sun's starting to come out and we're wanting to get active again and we're wanting to do this, that, and the other, and just knowing that you don't have to stop your progress that you've made all along. Just keep rolling down the road and make decisions as you go that are conscious decisions. So love that. Yeah. All righty. So good last words for that video. All right. So have a good one, everybody. We will see you next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And send us send us a broccoli emoji if you love dinner, and send us do they have egg emojis? Send us a breakfast emoji if you like brunch better. And always, we love your hearts and your thumbs up. Okay, guys, have a good one. Bye, Dee.
Bye.